Hello, welcome to Garblag Games. I'm here with Alden and Nye, who are... Well, they're kind of like the little angel and the little devil on my shoulder, only they're both the little devil, and...
I was going to say, which one is which?
Yeah. But just...
I can rock a halo. Or horns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Little pair of wings, be right.
Yeah, it'd be
You
fine.
should also remember that all devils are angels to start with.
It is true. Or the original ones were, but then like some more got promoted. It's very
they don't count.
complicated. Anyway,
they don't count.
that's not an issue
No.
for Dune. That's an issue for if we're playing in Nominate, which I must make you play at some point because that's a very good game where you can play an angel or a demon.
Okay.
We've played Dune before and we loved it. We do like a good bit of Dune. Nice bit of Modiphius 2D20 action. We played House Dargush Part 1, which was a little story about a bunch of people going to a lovely party on Arrakis and having tea. And they had a great time and everything was fine. And then we did Part 2, our Dune series Part 2, Siege Abicat. Alden, you could do the song.
Siege Abicat.
Yeah, there you go.
Siege Abicat.
There isn't got
I'm
any
really
other words,
liking
that's
this.
it. It's just
Yeah,
Siege Abicat to the tune
I'm
of
loving the
Feliz Navidad.
experimental nature of this.
Only do the chorus.
Yeah.
Because obviously...
And only
as
3
a- as a
seconds, because
ca-
otherwise...
Yeah,
take down
as
the
a
I can do
cast
8
member,
bars,
I...
can't I? I can do 8 bars before it hits copyright.
As a cast member, I do listen to all the episodes, of course, so I definitely know everything that's going on.
Yeah. And in
I
Siege
have actually
Abicat,
been
we had
listening
lots
back
of
to
fun.
that one.
And
did.
Okay.
explored a little bit of desert, chilled out in the desert for a little bit, went for a little flight on a spaceship, and nothing bad happened.
Actually, that's not true. I did watch some tonight.
Oh, that spaceship.
The-
Well,
yeah,
I mean,
spoilers.
yeah.
Go back
I mean,
and
it
watch
never
season
made
2.
it. Yeah, okay, fine.
Okay, so just from my understanding, and for anyone who's watching this for the first time, the way does this work by a generational thing? Like each part is
Yeah,
a
Ben.
little bit. Is it like that?
Yes, it
That-
is.
that's
Yeah,
just
it
what
is a
people-
generation game, only without Bruce Forsyth.
Cuddly toy,
Yeah.
television.
So
Without
the first
Bruce, eh?
generation, we're kind of doing little snapshots of during
Yeah.
the life of Paul Atreides. So in the first one, he hadn't been born. In the second one, he was a teeny weeny baby. And in this one, we will be starting just as Paul finishes tidying up the deserts of Arrakis, murdering everybody who gets in his way. And he's about to have a big punch up with his, spoiler alert, cousin.
Tidying up makes it sound like he has a large room.
Yeah, I suppose you could argue that.
Just saying.
But they do, because they drag brooms behind them to erase their steps when they walk across the desert.
Or you got one of these.
Yeah, or you rub
Just
one of those.
saying.
Oh, what?
It's a
My
croissant.
characters have close associations with croissant.
It's
worms.
riding croissant.
Yeah.
Oh, it's meant to be the worm. Right,
Yeah.
okay.
Yes.
But
I-
first things
Tasty,
first,
tasty worm.
we started off our very first run at this by creating House Dargush, our own special magical little house among the tens of thousands of houses. It's not that little anymore, no.
Junior.
I mean, you've
Yes,
had sort
but
of
not
2 seasons worth of advancement, but we'll be playing through that because we've got access to
Feel that-
the...
We need Lewis for that.
Yeah, we need
really.
Lewis for that. Houses of the Landsrad. In the first episode, Lewis was a young, bright-eyed, bushy-tabled... Bushy-tabled? Who has bushy-tables?
go with it, go with it.
Bushy-tailed.
Oh,
No,
a
just
bushy
go
table
with it.
sounds
I like
awful.
bushy tabled.
That's like having a rug for a sink. That's just like ugh.
I feel that that's some sort of euphemism.
No, that's a real thing.
I know
I've
it isn't
seen
because
people
it's
trying to
you,
say
but
it.
if it was me, that would have
That
been
would
a
have been a
euphemism.
euphemism.
No, that's a real thing. I saw someone trying to sell was like a sink with like carpet,
With a rug?
not carpet, like a fluffy
What?
sink. Yeah,
That's
it was an
insane.
awful idea.
Right,
yeah,
see,
I
if I
know.
leave
And
the
that's-
two of them alone for even a second, this is what
Yeah.
happens. They go off on one,
Yeah.
and we're talking
What are you
about
talking about?
somebody using a rug as a sink. House
Yeah.
Dargush.
Why would you
Okay.
do that? Madness. Sorry. We're in space.
Yep, a minor house located on the forest moon Darga off of Epsilon Eridani, a skilled and well-informed house whose
Gosh,
motto...
it's almost like I've just shared the PDF with him.
No, you haven't. I had it in my own folder as well. It's cool.
There's
Yeah.
a PDF.
There is, yes, it's on the Discords.
I shall upload it to the Roll20 as well. The motto of the house is In Perception Opportunity, and their symbol is a lantern. Cream, gold, and green, I believe, were the colours.
Yep.
Yes. Why am I saying
Yes.
I believe? I know they were the colours. Things what House Dargush are good at. They're an espionage house, but not...
No.
They are an espionage house, but they're a mechanical espionage house in that they make the machinery that helps people observe the things. Their primary export is lenses. They are a house of making good lenses.
Yeah, absolutely. No espionage at all. I don't know what you're talking about.
Their secondary expertise, of course, definitely isn't espionage, and they are definitely not much less well known for their agents and spies.
No, good heavens, no.
Well, you just
What a
give
suggestion.
the technology which can be used to spy on people to people. What they do with it is beyond your control.
Well,
They
have to
legit
test
also
it
have
as
spies,
well.
though.
Well, yeah, but who doesn't in this day
But
and
it's
age?
June.
Yeah. However, they're also nice guy. They're a nice guy house. They're more Atreides than Harkonnen. The people like them. They respect them. Pro-social reward systems, low crime, lovely cities, temperate woodlands. It's a nice place to live.
It's very much a meritocracy. Yes, that's how Morgan made it to...
Move to
House
the
officer.
forest moon of Darga, where you can join the House of Dargush and definitely not be at war with a bunch of psychotic, cloning, religious fundamentalists at all. House von Meer, their enemies, or their main enemies, because, you accumulate enemies as you work your way through Dune.
June, innit?
Yeah.
Like blemishes.
You could judge a person by the quality of their enemies, or so 'tis said.
But our enemies suck.
Yes.
Like suck as in they're really difficult to deal with, or suck as in they're incompetent at being your enemies.
Both.
A bit both.
Sharadil is
They
ripping into
vacillate.
me now because House von Meer are not connected directly to the painter, and their main export is not pretentious paintings. No, their main export
Vermeer or Von Meer?
Von Meer.
That's his brother.
You'd hate to make that mix up.
Yeah,
God, you really
Oof.
would, wouldn't it? That'd be
Yeah.
embarrassing, wouldn't it?
Oh,
That'd be
God,
a terrible
okay.
mistake to make. What kind of a person would do that? Right, so let's update some characters, shall we?
Yes.
Or indeed, in Knight's case, make an character.
Yes, I have questions about that.
I thought you might.
Hi, I've just appeared.
So,
No, I don't
in the
have
first
questions about
series,
Knight being
Alden
here.
plays something of an
It's
older
just
gentleman
rude.
who
Why are you here?
probably isn't
What
still
the
alive.
hell? Morgan,
Morgan, he was a gruff old fella.
he was not old. He was a junior house officer at the time.
he
I mean, the
was.
time
Of course he
was a while back now.
Yeah.
He was only 28. Why did he sound like that though? It was a rough 28 years.
It was. He
okay?
did have a pretty rough 28 years. In his defence, he'd had a bit of a tough time of it. So that character could be played, but he would very definitely be an old man now.
Hello.
Hello.
I used
Because
to thump people with my mace of office.
that game
Now-
took place in the
Very
year
heavy.
10,156.
No,
What year is it now?
meaningless.
Oh, God. Now, yeah.
Come on.
Good question. What year is it now? What year was Paul born?
12,000. Oh, a lot of time has
Yeah,
passed.
he'd be a
Oh,
very
no.
old man.
103 BF.
Everybody is dead.
What? I don't know what that means.
Oh, star dates are
Carried
horrible.
two.
We're not even getting into those. I tried to do star dates in my Star Trek game, and
Yes.
eventually I just
No.
went, you know what? I'm not doing star dates anymore.
Just never. You should never ask a star. Out
Out for
on
a
a
date.
date. Yeah, exactly. Just you get to know them first. It's impolite.
I'm not reading that card. That is a terrible joke, and I'm not saying that.
Good. That's what we like to hear. Come on, timeline. I'm getting there. Eras of
I
play.
guess sun
I
I
deities.
could do a
You
bad
could
joke
date.
just to fill the time.
No, I mean I guess you could date like a sun deity. I don't think that's a problem.
Oh yeah, that'd be okay.
Yeah.
Ascension to Muad'Dim.
Or
Yeah,
on a
all right, so
Sunday.
it's there.
Is that a working day for a Sunday?
Well,
Or is
they're all
that a day
working
off?
days. They are the embodiment of the sun. They don't. Well, I guess they can do evenings.
Yeah, but if you're a deity,
Ah, that's true.
I
Yeah.
mean, it depends which one. I mean, obviously, if you're the dung beetle rolling the flaming ball across the celestial
He
sphere,
works
then
hard
yeah,
on the
you're at
celestial
work.
Yeah, he
sphere.
does. I mean, but like if you're Apollo, I guess. I feel like well, no, there's Helios, isn't there, as well? Yeah, I just realized
Is that a job share then,
Greco-Roman
do you reckon?
mythology gets a bit confusing because they've got like
Well, it is.
yeah.
This is what happens when you have an empire, people, is you absorb a whole bunch of other cultures and
Is
you
that
pretend
our
that they were
empire?
all
No.
yours to start with.
That's not our
And then
empire,
you
is it?
start
No.
how do you call it synchronicity?
Synchronizing?
Where you like yeah.
Or you don't,
you
and you just then have
take up
sects
yeah.
that
Well, I
fight
mean,
it out.
Romans were just like, all right, we like this, we don't like this, we'll have that, no to this. You're picking all the
Bit of
ones
that.
that like war. Yep, no, that's just our style.
Yeah, we got a few of them. That's fine.
If we're still paying for time, Ben, I'll say this.
No, we're good.
I
We're good.
do-
I found the
we're good now,
timeline of
so
human
I'll
history.
stop.
The trouble is, it starts 11,000 years in the past and
Ah,
runs
that's
Wow.
gonna take
all
some time.
the way into the future. Yeah, there's a lot of space time to consider. Paul Atreides is born 10,175. 10,191 is when they go to Dune, and I think it's about 5 or 6 years later, so it's probably somewhere in the region
Fuck it.
of...
People are gonna shout at me for this. Who is this Paul fellow? Is he like an important
You
character?
keep going on about.
Okay, Paul
I'm
Muad'Dib
assuming he's
Atreides.
important.
You know the kid in the movie?
Yeah.
Like the curly-haired boy with
You're
the
lying.
Yes.
main character.
Is that Paul?
Yeah, he's the protagonist
Right. Okay.
of Dune.
Yes. Okay.
But they kind of
I
phase
was-
him
I
out
was-
by the third one and replace him, which is why they call it Children of Dune.
Okay. That
Not
makes
just a
sense.
clever name.
Well, yeah, good. Okay, fine.
So it's probably about 10,198, I reckon, somewhere around there.
I'm so lost track of what you said originally.
Yeah, I'm still just thinking of fun Roman myths. Honestly, which I shouldn't be. It's like
Been
school all over.
42 years since
42,
the first
okay.
season.
It's always 42. Anyway,
That's a happy coincidence.
yeah.
It is, isn't it?
So that
So
would
you-
mean
so
that
you-
you could absolutely, if you wanted to, play your old character. He will just be 42 years older than he was then.
So, a young 60-something.
Whereas
Silver
Foom,
Fox.
who was,
17, 18.
yeah, in the second
Yep.
season.
Yeah, I'm not keeping up with the maths. That's your job.
No, you're right.
So
10,175. So 23 years after the second one.
So it'd be 30-something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It's probably
either of
gonna
your
be
previous
Foom, unless
characters
it's
are workable.
somebody else.
So I'm assuming houses are not bloodline based. They're just they're kind of like a clan system where it's like we're all kind of
Little column A, little column B,
People.
really.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they have nobility. So House Dargush has a familial line that forms the kind of the spine of the house,
yeah.
of which Lewis's character Darla was a scion of House Dargush and a favourite of Grandmother Dargush, as I remember.
Yes. Well, he wasn't quite the favourite yet, which is why she'd sent him away in season 1 to go and do diplomacy.
Yeah.
And he did
He
such
was
a good
working his
job
way
that
up.
he became the favourite.
Yes.
Grandmother
But-
will definitely have passed on at that point. But the heir was disappointing to her, so she was looking for someone to replace him. So Dela will have the option
Right.
of either being the heir of the house, formally, or being the head of the house, because why the hell not?
Because grandma might have just skipped a generation. And then you have a whole bunch of other people. You have the house officers who are like the guards, the
Yeah.
war master,
Professional folk that you
mentats
hire,
who are the
bring in.
clever scientists.
Yeah,
Adopt.
as I say,
Doctors.
it's like a lot of like real life like structuring of groups of people where there is like a bloodline element, but then also it's just like, well, you know,
I think I don't know whether this is canon for Dune or whether it's just how we created it, but I think there are some houses that are much more about familial bonds.
Yeah.
yeah,
It's more
definitely.
kin than it is kith. But House Dargush, we deliberately kind of created on much more of a meritocracy. So it's like anyone could join the house if
Oh, there
they
we go.
proved themselves.
It's not as far as we thought it was. Thank you very much, Eldath Richard. We appreciate your
Thanks,
input.
Richard.
10193 was the fight with
Right.
Fade. So it'll be 5 years less than 42, which is 37 years from season 1 and
So, someone just make me a table.
18 years from season 2.
Seriously,
like
Lucy.
you just watch the 3-hour YouTube video explaining all the lore, and you'll be good.
Family
Can I watch-
relationships.
Can I
Yeah,
watch it on speed? Can I turn it up?
yeah. Oh, of course.
No,
yeah,
not
you
on.
can.
Obviously, not on speed, but on a faster
Well, I mean,
speed.
that might. Yeah. Obviously, you watch it. I mean, you could also watch it on speed though if you.
No, I don't think I should. I don't think that would help.
Probably not. No.
No.
Not for taking up lore.
No.
There's a reason people don't do it before a test.
Speed reading works like that. Surely it'd be the same thing.
Done all my revision.
Oh, some poor college student has definitely thought that's how it worked. It's a study drug. It's really not.
It really isn't.
It's
Well,
not
it
for
is
that
if you've got
purpose.
ADHD, sort of. Maybe
That's
not, don't
true.
actually take methamphetamines, kids.
No,
Yeah.
don't.
Take
My
the
Unless your
one and
doctor tells you
only
to.
even adjacent experience was a housemate of mine many years ago who came and knocked on my door early one Monday morning. And I came out and I'd never seen anyone who was actually kind of a greeny grey before. I'd always thought that was just a literary
Oh.
device. And he was like, "Do you think I should go to work?" And I was like, No, I think you should go back to bed. And probably drink quite a lot of fluids.
Yes.
But
not
no, I
coffee.
don't think you should go to work. And it later transpired that he'd spent the weekend,
Tweaking.
if that's what you call it. I thought it was a dance, but yes.
No,
okay.
that's twerking. But
Oh,
I
of
can see
course
where
it is.
you'd fall down, especially if
Yeah,
you started twerking.
Hey,
Yeah.
bada boom.
Character creation, then.
Okay.
It's
So
moving on
am
swiftly.
I making a character then? Okay.
So's Alden as well, so fear
What?
not.
Am I?
Well,
What's happening?
you've got to kind of rebuild whoever you had before. I mean, I'm sure you've got
Yes.
your notes there, but people do change in 18 to
I
37 years.
I don't actually have Foom's notes. I can't
Okay.
find them.
Well, it doesn't have to be perfect, does it? You know kind of what he was like.
Just as well, really.
We've got all the books and stuff.
Have you read all the books?
No.
Yeah.
Oh wow, this is a pretty character sheet.
They are pretty
Oh,
good.
it is.
It's true.
Yes, that is true.
I
So,
feel like I should have
beginning
something
from
like
the
that.
beginning with a concept. So concepts, this would be the point at which I now can't find the house sheet because I'm a genius. Here we go.
I shared it in Discord.
You did, and I've actually got it open in a separate window, which is why I can't find it because I'm looking in the wrong place.
Well, that's silly. Why are you doing that?
So, roles within the house. You've got the ruler, the consort, the heir, the advisor, the physician, the counsellor, the envoy, the marshal, the scholar, the spy master, the sword master, the... Oh, it says treasurer, not reasurer. And the war master. Or
And the
any of
baker
their
and the
assistants.
candlestick maker.
Yeah, or you could be one of their
Oh.
assistants, or you could literally just be a smuggling ally. We've opened up the ability to play Fremen characters who were allied with the house as well. So if you don't know the lore terribly well, it's absolutely okay to
What?
play someone who might just not know much about the big wide universe, but have their own skills and abilities that have led to them rising up through the house as a capable whatever.
Right.
Fremen have
I
a lot of
will.
lore, though. That's
What is everyone else who is gonna be playing? So I don't end
Well,
up playing someone.
ancestrally, we know we've got an heir to the house in Lewis, who's a little bit of a. He's a bit of a jack of all trades, really, wasn't he, Dale Dargush? He was
Swordmaster.
particularly good at
The
looking flash
Swordmaster.
and
Yeah,
grabbing your
Okay,
attention.
I mean that's just Lewis.
Yeah, he could pull it off when he needed to.
And then Alden
Warmaster
has played
well,
either the wannabe War Master or the wannabe War Master's son.
Okay.
yeah, which is kind of why I'm a little bit like, ooh, I'm not quite sure how this goes. So Morgan was the aspirant to the War Master.
Yep.
But that was always his career path. That's where he wanted to go from house officer up to War Master. So that's a fairly solid path. Foom, the young lad last seen on Arrakis,
Yeah.
had a slightly not entirely conciliatory relationship with his missing father, brought up by the Siege rather than being brought up by his family. Or the
And
Siege
didn't
becomes
actually
the
meet
family.
the family until after season 2.
No, season 2, and then I think in the last kind of wrap up where we're like, and then Foom went out to the stars and reconciled with his father and actually learned more about House Dargush and was a bit of an envoy. So it's kind of, I have to figure out how all of that plays in the intervening, however many years it was we decided it was,
That's
to
fair.
figure out where he ends up. And I haven't quite figured that out yet. But it's not going to be Morgan. Let's cross that one off.
Okay.
It's going to be Foom. What Foom is like by this point,
Who
I'm
is
not
the
quite
new
sure.
Foom? Is he looking to be a marshal or a sword master or taking over from his dad as War Master?
I don't see that.
No.
I don't see him.
Would he make a better spy master once he mellows, or
That
an
does
envoy?
feel quite Foomy. Well, Envoy would be the natural fit because he is the bridge between the Fremen tribe of Arrakis and House Dargush. So there's that as a natural fit, and maybe that also spills out into, I don't know how the alliance that House Dargush was creating with some of the other houses has developed
Yep, that's very true.
in the intervening years, and does Foom also become part of that? Because other worlds, and also Foom has a serious penchant for tech.
Envoying would get you access to all of that stuff, so you could absolutely take that route.
Maybe that's it then. I don't know.
I know Pat wants to play a smuggler, a spice smuggler. And
Okay.
I'm not sure what Josh wants to do. He was maybe a spy, maybe an advisor, maybe a mentat, maybe an assassin.
So
Okay,
that's all the
so-
same thing.
But it's like different chefs, in a restaurant. Like there's the sous chef, there's the bakery chef,
The murder chef.
Yeah, it's just different, flavors. Oh boy. I'm speaking the third person, like Julius Caesar. Can either play a talky character or a nerd, because that's nigh in real life.
We like nine
What's a
nerds.
mentat?
Mentats
Yeah.
are like turbo nerds turned up to 11.
Yeah.
Thinking
Oh, yeah.
computers in the Dune universe, there was a whole crusade to wipe them out because AI are bad.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
okay.
The Butlerian Jihad saw to it that thinking computers were not allowed and they got wiped out. And then they had to work on people to make them able to do the things that computers used to be able to do. So you have the navigators who can perform leaps across the vast distances of space using their psychic powers instead of having to worry about doing maths. The mentats do maths, so they don't have to worry about...
gill-faced folk, I believe you described them as in season 2, Ben.
Yeah. But the mentats are
Okay.
like thinking, they're human computers. They take a drug, which is like Ribena.
I like Ribena.
There you go. See?
It's just like Ribena.
Just like, well, it stains your lips.
So,
Yeah, just like Ribena.
so there's them. There's psychics. But they're not called psychics, I imagine.
They're not psychics as such. You don't tend to get much by way of psychic fellas. That's why Paul was quite important, because he was a fella and he was psychic.
Right.
The Bene Gesserit witches have something akin to psychic powers because they have complete body control and the ability to influence others with their words and fun things like that.
Right, okay.
There is a whole specialist school of doctors who are above reproach and trusted at all times by every member of every house because they swear an oath that cannot be broken.
Except when it is.
Except that one guy.
Yeah.
So
Sorry,
it's on
Dean.
the
We miss you,
test.
Dean.
Okay.
Too soon.
Right. What were the options again?
You know what? How do you feel about being an ecologist? Do you think you could handle the idea of being a planetary ecologist?
Yeah,
Oh,
let's
wow.
go with that. What is that called then? Is it just an
Brace
ecologist,
yourself.
or is it...
It's a planetary ecologist. Yeah.
Yeah,
Bum,
fuck it.
bum,
I'll just be one of
bum.
those. Right, did I put that in roll?
Dee.
Oh, shit. Character sheet. Yes,
Yeah.
sorry.
Roll
Let's
would
do it now. I'm
indeed
not
be
gonna remember to do it.
ecologist. Yes.
Planetary ecologist, and my house is. How do you spell? Oh, it's on the
It's right there on the thing.
on the roll 20. Cool.
I've got to
I
remember how to roll 20
misspelled
works
it.
now.
All right. Well, as an ecologist, you gain the trait ecologist.
Plant
Oh, okay.
lover.
Now, do I have to write this in, or does the thing know to?
It probably doesn't know to do that.
It's not that clever.
It's not. Yeah.
Well,
It's clever, but it's not.
ecologist.
Yeah.
All right. Hit me. What can that do?
Oh no, that's not a talent. That's a trait. So it goes under personality traits, I guess.
It all makes sense.
Oof, talents. Getting
Right.
ahead of yourself, sunshine.
It said trait as it. Oh, okay.
Your
I
primary
don't-
skill is discipline.
Wait, is it in person?
Last season, we had 4 of us doing this all at the same time at different
Oh
speeds.
God. Okay.
Just
okay,
extra fun
right.
for Ben.
Slow down. Okay, so there's a trait. Where does that go?
Traits go
In,
up at the top in personality traits,
Right, and that's ecologist.
and that's ecologist. Yeah.
Okay. Right, that's there. Okay, what's next?
I thought it was planetary ecologist. I feel you should be specific.
No, the trait is just ecologist. The role is
Oh.
planetary ecologist.
Oh.
Your primary discipline is. Sorry, your primary skill is discipline.
And what I write? For that?
We should probably come to that in a little bit.
Yeah.
Unless you can tag them, which I don't think you can.
No, it looks like you can't tag
It
them.
wants me to
Make
write
a note
things.
of that. On a piece
I'll
of
write it
paper.
on my phone.
I've also got the PDF there, so I can refer back to it as and when.
Okay, yeah, fuck it. Yep, let's just continue on from there. Okay, what's next?
Right. So from the top, personality traits. A character has 2 traits which are an essential description of them.
Okay.
First trait is your title, status, or role in society. So for you, that's ecologist.
Got it. That one's down there.
The second trait is more personal and is to do with your reputation. So just and wise, callous and ruthless, nerdy and
What do
excitable.
people say about you? Or your character?
Your
more
character.
importantly? We may have to come back to that.
We might have to come back to that. I don't know. If I can be honest, I don't super love systems that are like, we want you to have to have the personality down right off the bat, because I kind of like feeling out what the character's
that's
gonna be
fair.
like.
You don't. I do. I mean, as we develop through the character sheet,
Bits drop out,
No.
drop in and drop out.
Yeah,
yeah,
no,
the
I get
character
that.
does kind of emerge.
I'll keep it in my mind to write something for personality traits. I kind of want get a feel for
Yeah,
what this.
we do
this
drive
thing
and
is.
skills. That should start to shake things out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, let's
yeah, that's a
start
good-
with skills. Skills is a nice, easy one. Skills
Okay.
are rated from 4 to 8. The more proficient you are, the higher the skill rating is. So the skills are battle, communicate, discipline, move, and understand.
Right.
So that's the one where your primary skill is discipline. Discipline is your ability to influence and control your own mind
Okay.
and focus and concentration.
And do I put the I'm assuming that'd be an 8 then, if it's my main one.
Yeah.
Okay. And I put it in the little hexagon thing.
Yep. Is that? Sorry, I'm just going to be a pain.
No, you pain away.
Having for once actually done my homework. I did my homework, sir. Doesn't skills start with a base? Primary skill listed for your archetype is rated at 6.
There you go. So your
Secondary
primary skill starts at 6, and your secondary skill
Okay.
starts at 5.
5. The others are
Oh,
The
rated
others
at
are all
4,
starting at 4.
Oh,
and then you
okay.
get some
Wait,
additional points to spend.
wait. Okay. So what's my secondary one? That's a
I
5.
was in the fluff section and not in the number crunch section.
It's because you skipped. You should have
No,
done
I was
drive.
ahead. I was back. I was further back. Understand is your secondary skill.
Okay, and that's a 5, yes?
Yep.
Yes.
Cool. And the other ones, do I just...
They're all
They're all
four.
4
They
to
all
start off
start
with.
at a flat 4.
That's fine.
You can spend stuff to.
Yeah.
You have another 5 free points effectively that you can spend to bring things up.
Yeah. So you've now got
Okay,
5
well,
points that you
yeah.
could spend on any of them.
Let's just do all the base stuff, and then I'll...
That
and
is
then
the
I'll
base. That's
add
the base
stuff.
done. That's the base
Cool.
skills done.
Yep, that's fine. I can add 5.
Yep. You've now
Wherever,
got
but I'll do
5
that
points to
later.
put them wherever the hell you like them. Yeah.
That's fine. I'll make a note of that as
All right. So foci. It always says
Can't go above
focuses
8.
in the books,
Can't go
but
above
it's
8.
foci.
Oh no, you never liked that.
Yeah. You choose 4 and assign them to skills. At least 1 to your primary skill. Archetype will offer suggestions to take if you wish. So as an ecologist, it suggests that your foci should be in ecology and precision.
Yeah, that works for me. Ecology.
So
And
you would write
precision.
those in the box next
Spell
to
ecology wrong.
either discipline or understand.
Yeah.
I wrote them in battle.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it is
you
Arrakis,
could.
so in
Well,
fairness.
technically, you could. They
And-
come in handy for when you're rolling.
Yeah.
So, if we
So I
take-
would put ecology in discipline and
okay.
precision in understand. It's a good way of splitting
No.
it.
I might go
Or
the
you
other
could
way
put them both in discipline.
I'll go the other way around. But anyway,
Oh, okay.
can I give you an example? Would that help?
Yes, that would probably
A
help,
worked
yeah.
example. So Morgan Graf, the delightful Morgan Graf, this will be remembered, likes to hit people with a big lamp.
Right.
Sorry, staff
okay.
of office. So he had his primary skill was battle. Started off at 6. I spent an additional 2 points to bring it up to 8, and had a focus in bludgeoning. So
Right.
whenever Morgan went to bludgeon someone, he got to activate his focus, which means when you roll, if you roll under the number for your skill, so you roll 2d20s, and if you roll under an 8 or under, then it's a crit. This is why focuses are very useful.
Right.
When they're useful, because otherwise your crit
Okay.
range is 1. So there are some things your character is very good at and very focused on,
Okay. Okay.
and you have a much greater chance of having a really good success in those things, and everything else you kind of have to negotiate. That makes sense?
Oh, yeah, no, that makes sense. Right. So what are the skills? So discipline is like my internal.
Discipline is your ability to Go back to it. Hang on.
What does it say in the book?
No, computer is struggling with speed. It's... Oh, God! Here we go. Anytime now. There we go. Going back through the pages. Back through the pages.
Are we there yet?
Back through the pages. Discipline. No, we've gone too far now. Influence and control your own mind and body. Ability to exert direct influence over others with force of will, power and authority. Focus and concentrate on complex tasks.
And what's understand?
And understand is, that one's a lot more what it says on the tin. Take in and process information. Recall and apply knowledge effectively at a later point.
Okay, I think I agree with how doing that. I feel like it makes more sense for the ecology to be in understand and the other one that I totally remember to be in...
Precision.
Was it precision?
So that's nailing down the data.
Yeah. Okay. Is there anything else you need to add to focuses?
You get another 2 that you can add.
Cool.
But not straight away. You don't have to.
We can do that later. We'll do all the adding stuff that's not suggested, but I just want to get like the rough idea now.
Big numbers first, little details later. That's
exactly
a sensible approach.
I'm looking through the book and I've seen dual fealty as a talent.
Okay.
I might be bouncing around in a confusing manner. But I was thinking that kind of fits with Foom. Or new Foom.
Is the
Older
template
Foom.
that we're using. That's all good. As an ecologist. Drives. Some of the drives that you will need to have.
Okay.
Faith is a good one. Faith in the ability of people to fix things and make the world a better place.
Okay, yeah.
Believing in others. Now, for those, the drives, you rank the 5 drives in order of importance. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. 8 is your top drive. 4 is your lowest drive.
Okay, well, I think I like faith being at 8. I feel like power will be the lowest at 4, because I don't think this one's interested in power much. If I'm just going based on...
Duty and truth are probably your next best choices.
Yeah, so we'll give truth a 7, and we'll give duty a 6, and then that leaves justice at 5.
Perfect.
Cool.
And then we need a statement in your 6, 7 and 8 ones that express your take on that drive. So, for example, in faith, it's about trusting in others, believing in people. So for that one, it would be maybe faith in the house, that they are the good ones.
Oh, is the statement like that's not just like flavor text, that's like an actual thing that affects the rule,
but it could be like a brief version and then grow into a formal version. So it doesn't have to be, my faith in the house is unwavering. It could be something like House Dargush good, other houses bad.
Right, okay.
Or it could be your faith in the terraforming process to make the desert livable.
This is the right thing to do.
Right, okay. I don't know.
Do what's right, not what's easy.
Oh, are these actual like things I
like
can use?
Yeah.
Like, are they written down in the book?
Yes, there are some examples in the book as well.
Or right. Do how doing. I gotta think about these.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, it's not easy, and they can come up in role play, although they can kind of guide the role play.
Well,
and at times
that
they
was
get
thinking,
challenged. which
Right,
which is
okay.
also interesting in its own way.
Right.
Have you
Okay.
played Star Trek Adventures?
No, I've played very few Modiphius games, so I have no frame of reference for any of this.
Okay. Fair enough.
all
That's
right.
okay. It's all a learning curve process.
Yeah.
So, Alden,
Hello.
where are you at?
I'm trying to find my character.
Okay.
Sorry, it's not helping, is it? Oh, I found my notes. That's something. Wow.
Score.
Scrabbly. So we've got foam.
Concept.
Oh, yeah.
Faction template. Archetype.
Envoy.
Envoy. Now, with the envoy, is that an archetype that you're going for?
What's the difference?
Well, Fremen is an archetype, for instance.
Well, he is a Fremen.
Yeah, but you could take that as an archetype, or you could take one of the sub-Fremen ones as an archetype. Spacing Guild Agent, yeah, you don't want that.
No.
Envoy is an archetype that you could take. Primary skill, communicate. Secondary skill, move.
Communicate. Foom.
That's what envoys do.
Seems unlikely.
It's been 18 years. He might have picked up a thing or two.
His voice might have finally broken
Yeah.
properly. Sorry, what was that again?
Communicate as primary and move as secondary.
Well, he was always shit hot on move.
He was a bit nippy, wasn't he?
He's a sand runner, mate. He's a sand runner. He probably still bores people with tales.
But that's
that
the
they
other
don't
thing. The
believe
Sand
about.
Runner, primary skill move, secondary skill discipline.
Yeah.
So you're looking at move, discipline, and communicate as being your top three now.
No, it's really odd. Yeah, I'm really not quite sure how he's developed. So, all right.
Sand Runner, foci are resolve and self-control. Drives tend to be duty, power, truth.
No, he was all about truth. He was all about truth in the desert.
Whereas the envoy stuff,
I think it's still going to be truth. It's going to be what's driving him.
duty, justice. Maybe not an envoy then.
No, I don't think it sounds like an envoy. So that's kind of envoy as
Infiltrator?
a. Yes. Tell me more about infiltrate.
Infiltrator, primary skill discipline, secondary skill move.
Yeah.
Drives, truth, and power tend to be highest.
That's
Herald.
kind-
Herald.
Really? Oh god, yeah, that would fit with Morgan, wouldn't it?
Primary discipline, secondary communicate, faith and
Oh
duty.
god, is he going to become his dad's herald? Oh Jesus, can you imagine? Oh Dad, don't make me do the thing. Go on, announce me.
It doesn't have to do that, you know. Scout, messenger.
But he was a messenger. He was a
He
messenger
was
back
a
on
messenger,
Arrakis.
yeah.
I don't see that fitting with going and working with House Dargush and working with his dad, though.
That's fair.
I think infiltrator or scout, are kind of somewhere between those two, probably fits best.
Scout is move and understand, drives in duty and truth quite often.
I think I like infiltrator most of all.
Infiltrator works. So trait, infiltrator.
Infiltrator, yes.
Obviously, you also get the trait two worlds to represent your split background.
Yep.
Primary skill discipline, secondary skill move.
Yep.
Foci on infiltration and precision.
Yeah.
Talent, subtle step.
That does fit with Foom.
And then
What does
your
subtle
primary
step
drive
do?
would be, I'll tell you what they do later. This is the short version in disciplines. Drives are truth and then sometimes power.
I quite like power because Foom never used to be interested in power, but I think hanging out with his dad.
It does say as well that sandrunners quite often get a little bit of a taste of power. Well, you know, when you can do the thing where you can control the worms, that's got to be quite a potent and heady feeling.
It's not control.
No.
It's collaboration.
They work with me, though.
And only me. So yes, I quite like power being a secondary.
Okay.
Having kind of developed while he's been out in the stars. All right.
You're probably expected to get a damn good ribbing from the Fremen when you get back. And yeah, go on then,
Yes.
ride the worm if you're so cool.
I'm slightly curious about how a Fremen becomes an infiltrator with the glowing blue eyes.
Not a mentat. Oh, I see what you mean. The infiltration whilst having the glowing blue eyes. Yeah, because they're not going away, are they?
Might be contacts, lenses. It's House Dargush.
House Dargush. There you go. Contacts.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I might need an asset.
You might. All right, coming back to your numbers bit then.
Oh God, yes. Sorry. So 6 for discipline. Initially 5 for move. Oh, that's interesting. We do arrow keys that go up and down. Sorry.
Convenient.
Roll 20 for those at home. And then 4 for everything else. And I'll spend some points in a bit.
Yep.
And then 8 for truth. Is it going to be 7 for power? Is it going to shift that far?
It could always just be 6 for power and put your 7
Okay,
in one of the others.
All right, 6 for power. Going to keep the 7 in faith. 5 and 5 for duty, 4 for justice. Foom doesn't care about justice. Psycholud will dispense justice.
Bless the Maker and his passing. May his coming cleanse the world.
Yes, this world and many others. We could just figure out how to get them off Arrakis. Cool.
Okay. So that's the main bit of the early part with the numbers and the punching. It's just a matter of deciding whether or not you want to put your 5 other points anywhere in skills where you want to throw them.
You do. You just need to figure out where. There's a disguise kit in assets, isn't there?
I'm sure there is, yeah.
I might just go for that.
Equally, you could have replacement eyes.
That doesn't sound good.
Yeah, good point. Like, you don't want Slaylaxu eyes, do you?
No. I got a Cyber's hood.
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah, Foom would love that. It's both technology and sneaky. That would be fabulous.
So, Nye, thinking about those extra 5 dots and or extra 5 points and where to throw them.
Aye.
If you put some into understand, you would shoot up the rankings of the scientific community because you would be the cleverest.
Okay.
If you put some in communicate, you could also then deliver lessons and explain to people why the ecology needs to happen. You probably don't need to put any into battle or move.
Yeah.
If it's not too metagamey, where are we?
At the start, start
Yeah.
of the game. It will be in the throne room in Arakeen, watching Paul and Fade have a bit of a scrap.
Oh, it's curious.
I mean, I'm not too enamored with being the smarty pants, like the smartest of smarty pants. Just Nye as a person doesn't really care for that.
That's fair.
I guess I could bump up communicate. I don't really know if this individual's a teacher per se, or an educator of some description, or
Equally could be an activist sort of person as well.
yeah. Okay.
There is a history
so
of that in
I-
Dune. There's the planetary ecologist Pardot Kynes is
Okay.
a very influential figure amongst the Imperium and amongst the Fremen. So the Fremen have a lot of time and respect for ecologists who can speak to them. So having some communicate would go down well.
Okay. So maybe if I bump that up by like 2, so it's a 6 with that.
Yeah, that works.
Cool. I mean, I could just bump all the way up to 8, but I feel like that's a bit excessive.
It's not a bad idea. For your primary, it's not a bad idea.
Okay, well, I've got 3 points left, so I could bump up discipline to 8, and then we'd have 1 left.
Throw that into understand, be a good ecologist who's remarkably diligent and good at communicating.
Wow, that sounds
Okay,
good.
then. Yeah, that
Yeah.
works for me.
I'd work with them.
Cool. So that's my skills. I have to do the focuses. So there's 2 more I gotta add. And do
Yes.
they have suggested ones, or do you just have to come up with
There are a
something?
buttload of suggested ones. It suggests it suggests putting 1 into communicate. So a communicate one could be something like, oh, this is running slowly today. Communicate foci: acting, bartering, charm, deceit, diplomacy, disguise, empathy, gossip, innuendo, inspiration, interrogation, intimidation, linguistics, listening, music, neurolinguistics, persuasion, secret language, teaching.
I quite like empathy. I mean,
That's
that's
the one
Yeah?
yeah, empathy's a very nice thing. I like
Great.
characters who are
That is what it says
empathic.
on your performance review.
Oh, yes, exactly. And I have another one.
Yes.
Let's
Which
talk about that.
You could put it in
Uh,
discipline, you could put it in communicate, you could put it in
yeah,
understand.
we'll pop it in discipline, since discipline's my highest. It should have 2. So what are some
Command,
discipline?
composure.
I'm not really feeling
Espionage,
command.
infiltration, precision, resolve, self-control. Oh, survival.
Yeah, survival sounds like a good one. Need to actually be able to not die out there.
Yeah. Plus, if
Okay.
you're an ecologist, you're going to know how to survive in the places that you've studied. No reason why you couldn't.
Exactly.
Field trips.
So that's the focuses, that's the skills. Yeah, 4 focuses and the skills with the 5 additional points.
Perfect. And then
Cool.
some drive statements. You need 3 drive statements. 1 in duty, 1 in truth, and 1 in faith. And drive statements, some suggested statements. So
Is there anything else we need to do? Because it'd probably be easier if I just read them. Having them read to me
that
might.
is true. Let me
It's a bit
then.
overwhelming.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all right when you're just kind of rattling off like individual words, but when you actually got to string it together.
Yeah. Whole statements is a bit of a different kettle of fish, isn't it?
Yeah, and we'll be here for a wee
Says-
while if we do that. But do I have to put anything in faction?
Faction would be the house. So House Dargush again.
Oh,
Faction is if you belong to one of the other groups as well. So I suppose you could put in the faction that you belong to the Imperial Ecology College or something if you wanted to.
okay, yeah. is there anything else aside from the statement? Plural.
Assets and
Thank you.
talents. So there's some duty statements.
Thank you. I'll
Faith.
do them once we've done the other stuff, because I'll be reading them while we go through that stuff.
Yeah, sure. That is not a problem. There's some faith ones.
Okay.
And there's some truth ones.
Okay.
And you can literally just lift one of those if you want, if you don't want to.
I'm gonna use it as a scale line, because I do want to personalize it, but also just doing 3 of those on the spot is a bit stressful. So
Yes. So concept covered, archetypes covered, skills covered, foci covered, talents. So we get 3 talents.
Oh, okay.
As an ecologist, you get 2 talents that you have to take, which will save you a little bit of time. You get Fremen technology and water wisdom.
What? Where does he get Fremen tech? I have to pay for that. Sorry.
You can tell me what they do, because I'll put in the description. Is Fremen spelt how it sounds?
Yes.
It's like Freeman, but with less ease.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. Okay. And I get to pick a third one. Yeah.
Yes.
I am willing to take suggestions, because I imagine there's quite a few talents.
Oh, yes. There's a whole stack in the manual. I don't think I have any immediate. There's a specialist one.
Now, for you,
Hello.
I know you. What was the one you already had?
There was dual something or other.
Dual. That was right.
Dual fealty.
Dual fealty.
So both to Siege Abacat and House Dargush.
Yes. You also then, with Envoy, some suggested talents. Oh no, it's Infiltrator.
Infiltrator.
Subtle Step.
Subtle Step. Yes. Which makes me snaky.
Yep, that's the only one you have to have from there. But if you want to keep one of your Fremen ones from Sandrunner, Chosen of Shai-Hulud and Peace of Shai-Hulud.
I think he had Peace of Shai-Hulud. I don't think he had Chosen.
Chosen was the worm riding one.
Yeah.
And Peace was the detecting worm sign stuff.
Yeah.
The kinship.
You're less likely to be snuck up on by a giant sandworm.
Yeah. Equally, you could take both.
I could take both.
Because you've got 3 that you can take.
Well, if I've got dual fealty and subtle step, that's 2, right?
That's true, yes.
I need 1 more. It's kind of how much he's been back and forth to Arrakis.
True.
So has his Arakan, it's not a word, skills been maintained?
Arakin.
Or have Arakin? Or have they Atreides? No, atrophied. While he's been off on that farmer world that we met in season 1. And there was a German bunch who were a bit daft punk.
Yeah.
But did like heavy machinery. So if he's been moving around other places, he might have picked up some other tricks.
Also true. Forgotten the worms.
I don't think you've forgotten the worms. I don't think that's really not in Foom's nature. I think his drive around truth statement is still something like the truth is in the silence. Which is kind of what he had to say previously. But now he's found the silence between the stars as much as the silence of the desert.
It's true.
don't know. I will need to look at the big long list of possibilities. He's also been hanging out with his dad, so it might just be punching people in the face.
126. All right, talents then, Nye.
Okay.
You've only got to choose one. So
yeah, give me. I don't know. You know me well enough, Ben.
So looking at what you've
something that
got,
I'm gonna have fun with.
you've got some Fremen technology, and water wisdom. They're both very ecological things.
Oh wait, it's added to the little description. Was that someone else? Yeah, I've got a little description here.
Oh, cool.
Let me read.
That was me.
Yeah. It was you.
Oh, Ben is the magic behind the machine.
Thank you.
Nye
just for my
things,
own
Nye things.
clarity, are the deserts a natural phenomenon, or are they are they a product of desertification?
No, the ecology of the desert is self-perpetuating because the desert and the worms are all connected and interconnected.
Okay.
What the sort of overarching Dune thing across 5,000 years is that over time, as they green Dune back up, the worms disappear, die out, fail, fall apart. They lose access to the spice. No worms, no spice, no interstellar travel. The Imperium starts to collapse. So you need the desert to have the worms, because the worms thrive in the desert. The desert thrives because of the worms. It's a very small ecology loop.
Okay. Okay. I don't know how I'm going to change these, but what I took for statements was, for duty, I said acceptance of place is the death of freedom. I don't really know how I'm going to characterize that, but I want to alter it somewhat.
It's a determination thing, isn't it? It's keep pushing on.
Yeah. For faith, I said I trust my heart, not my head, which I was going to try and alter, I'm smart, but I'm always wanting to maintain my empathy. Like, that always will trump just my brain. I don't know. I like it. I just don't know how to phrase it. And then for truth, I just went with a nice generic. I seek to uncover the many secrets of the universe. I'm not going to change that much because I don't know. That's a nice scientisty one. I want to know stuff because the universe is cool.
There is one here called intense study, which means that once per scene, you can use your understand skill instead of another skill. And you count as having a focus, because I read a book about this.
Okay, yeah, I like that. So what's that called? Intense?
It's called intense study.
Yeah, I like the sound of that. It's a nice little, and it, because that's always the thing that I feel can be a bit stifling with super brainy characters, is they can come off a bit one dimensional. Like, I'm very good at this thing, and that's all my characterization is. Or I guess the opposite problem is they just become a genius in every single field, which is also impractical. Like when they said, yes, I have 8 doctorates, it's like, dude, do you know how long it takes to get one doctorate? Just have one. You don't need 8.
That's a fair point.
Yeah. Okay. And the only other 2 things I see bare are ambition, assets, and complications. And I can kind of assume that determination is it's what's the term? Extra dice or whatever.
Yes, those are dice based. So assets is a thing you'll need, and ambition is what do you want to achieve? What's the thing that makes you do what you do? What do you want to be when you grow up?
Okay.
That kind of thing.
Well, let's do asset. I'll do my other personality trait and my ambition last, because I think that I have an idea of what this character's like.
Okay.
Okay. So assets. Again, is this just a pick from a massive list of options?
Assets is, cool stuff that you have.
Yeah.
Kind of anything you want, really. If you can think of a thing that would be useful to you, it's a variable cost for what the
Heavy
thing
artillery.
I mean, something an ecologist would have on them, not
Yeah.
like a
Artillery.
generic thing. I mean, we could go for heavy artillery, but I
Ben
feel
never
like,
lets me have heavy artillery.
but the problem is, I feel like heavy artillery would become like, if you own a van or like a pickup truck, and if all your friends are like, oh yeah, can you help me move this thing? Because you're the person who has the pickup truck or the van. It feel like the same thing, Oh, can you help me destroy this fort? You're the one who has the heavy artillery. Come on, help a friend out.
The guy who always has to carry people's sofa because you've got heavy artillery.
Exactly.
Morgan would be up for that. I don't think Foom would have a problem.
Oh no, I just okay, let's do this.
So asset-wise, there's personal assets, warfare assets, espionage assets, and intrigue assets. An asset can be a person, a thing, or an item. So, for example, looking at things that would be appropriate.
A large mace in the shape of a lantern.
Completely appropriate.
Okay, I guess it'd be personal because none of the other stuff I feel matches with the scientist I've got in mind. Is there anything that's related to knowledge or like?
Well, one of the things that is worth having is a still suit.
Oh God.
Okay. Yeah.
So still suit, all one word, and that's an asset that would mean that you tend to stay alive in the desert for a lot longer and not just die straight away.
Yeah.
Okay, I put it there. You can add the description. I'm assuming a still suit is just this universe's equivalent of some kind of environmental protection.
Yeah. It's a cool outfit as well. It's a suit and a cool outfit. Oh, there we go. Because you're allowed access to Fremen technology, you could have a Frem kit.
Oh, so you get a proper still suit then?
Yeah, proper still suit.
Right. I'll ask this now. What are Fremen and like? I have
the
no
Fremen
idea.
are the people of the desert.
Yeah.
They're
Bedouin.
They're kind of modelled on.
Okay.
Somewhere between the Bedouin and the Hashishim, with a little bit of the Cathari thrown in as well, for good measure.
Deserts of Arrakis are incredibly harsh. There are very few places that are safe, and the Fremen make their homes there.
Okay.
And they have developed still suits that conserve 99.9% of any water that comes off a human in any regard.
Yep.
Okay, right. So would I put Fremen kit instead of still suit?
No, but that is a separate asset. So still suit is one asset, Frem kit is another one.
Doesn't Frem kit include a still suit?
It does not.
Or is it still suit?
No, it's got a still tent.
Yes.
So is it Frem, like Frem?
And then kit,
Yes.
all one word.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It has all the tools needed to survive roughly a month on Arrakis. A manual, a power compass, a still tent, maker hooks, you won't need those. Still suit patches and a thumper. Please don't use the thumper.
I have no idea what these things are, so...
That's fine. I like to think that Foom on his interstellar travels has just been leaving thumpers around the place just for giggles.
To see what happens.
What is a thumper?
A thumper is...
attracts the worm.
Yeah, it's a big semi-automated hammer.
Oh!
And it just sits there in the desert going boom, boom, boom. And the worms are attracted to regular rhythmic sounds.
Yeah, like real worms. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I had actually slight tangent while Ben helps me with my thing. I have some American friends that I do a podcast with, and I got to tell them about worm charming, and they were just, their minds were blown. It was the best thing ever. They were like, "Oh my, people do this now?" I'm like, "Yeah," and this is like a thing that we've been doing for ages. It's awesome. Okay, do I need a third asset or do I just do two?
You can have a third asset.
An
An ornithopter is a possibility. Your own private.
That's the
buzzy
flappy
thing.
thing.
Yep.
Right. Or
you don't have to have that.
A flappy
it's
copter.
really useful.
Okay, I've added that.
Is it going to be a House Dargush one of the pretty ones?
They are quite pretty, aren't they?
Yeah.
So that I guess that brings into question:
I'd like to
is
have
this?
a spice harvester, please, Ben.
I'm assuming that's a quite difficult thing to get.
It's quite an expensive asset.
It's a factory on wheels.
Oh, okay.
I don't think Foom would go for that. That would be against Sarhalud anyway.
Yeah. I mean, unless he was getting one to feed it to a worm.
Oh, that's true.
And are there any penalties for having 3 assets?
Nope, you are expected to have 3 assets. You can
Cool.
also pick up more.
On in the game, yeah, no, that
Yeah.
makes sense because it's just cool stuff. Cool.
So there you go. Ornithopter as an asset does cool stuff.
Nice.
You probably want a scout one.
Probably makes more sense. I imagine that that's smaller in terms of carrying capacity. Makes sense. That's fine though.
It's a Dargush one, so it's got good sensors.
Oh, fun. Oh, sorry, dear me. Yawn. Right.
So it's just your ambition, really.
I kind of like the idea that this character wants to, they see the preservation of the ecology as paramount, and that's kind of fits in with some of the statements because in regards to faith, it's the whole idea that as an ecologist, they understand why these systems need to be maintained for, the benefit of people. But then there's also the fact that they just morally think it's right to preserve the natural environment and
because
not
it is a
have
natural
subsume...
environment. It has happened naturally. Arrakis evolved the way it did, developed the ecology that it did.
Yeah. So, does it need to be anything specific, or can you just write? Because I like the idea of preservation of Arrakis.
Yeah, that's absolutely fine.
How do you spell Arrakis? A-R...
R. 2 R's.
As. K-A-S.
A-R-R-A-K-I-S, yeah.
Oh, A-I-S.
No. Ar-ak-is.
You can see on my sheet, you can...
Oh, you can actually see it right there. It's 4th line down in the Fremen technology box.
Oh, so it's not an A, it's an I. That's the... So, there we go. Oh, and there's some... That's... I've misplaced everything. Cool, right, it's all sorted.
You need one more personality trait, something other than just being an ecologist.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that now, and then that's me, isn't it?
Yeah, that's you.
I need to name the character.
Sort of, yeah. And then our friend Foom.
So you can just have a personality trait that's 2 descriptors.
Yeah.
Like X and Y. Okay.
Absolutely.
Do Foom, and I'll think about that, and I'll also come up with a name. Can I just use it must be a Dune name generator online.
I imagine there probably is, yeah.
Oh, yes.
Or you could just take a normal name and spell it badly.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I wanna try and get in with the vibe of this.
It still works because Paul, the main character of the book is called Paul.
I did read an interesting thing where someone said about writing character names. It's you can have these amazing names so long as they're not important enough that someone's gonna have to say them a lot. Because at that point, just make them simple names that people can say. You can have it for far off vistas that only come up a couple times.
Apostrophes.
Yeah, that's another one.
A word with 3 apostrophes in. No one's ever pronouncing that word.
I'll just use it if they've got one. Let's see.
How many
there
it
is, and it's from Fantasy Name Generator, which I have beef with, but that's mostly just because they just used English town names once for a town, and I was like, these are not fantasy town names. I have been to these places.
I've been there. That's not a fantasy town.
It's my home, man. So rude. I haven't got focuses yet. I'm getting there. Boone would like to borrow his dad's scout troop.
I think Foom can have his own scout troop, given that his dad's the War Master.
Yeah, he's an infiltrator. He's a sneaky bugger.
Yeah, well, you can have some spies instead then, can't he?
I don't want
What
spies.
scouts? What spies?
Too obvious.
Happy birthday,
Dunno.
son. Here's your own scout troop.
Oh, thanks, Dad. I don't know. I've been looking through the assets and I can't quite decide. You quite fancy a pulse sword.
I mean, carryall is an asset that you can have. I can't see how it would do you much good, to be honest. What have we got?
Asset to have him have
Asset-wise,
his own ornithopter.
asset-wise in sand and dust. Have we got any fun new assets?
In the manual I don't have and can't see. What about a highliner?
Oh, yeah, you can have two.
Oh, okay. One for there and one for back again.
Yeah. I mean, you're not having a navigator to go with it. So what
Right.
you've got is a big space tube.
Stick enough spice up his nose. Foom will have a go. It's like a
Heroic.
big worm, isn't it?
Yeah. Is that why he wants one?
That's the problem. Yeah.
I wish the space worm.
I want the space worm. Let me ride the space worm. Please stop calling it that. Never coming to this bar again.
No, okay. This is one of those books that doesn't have the Fremen technology. Fremen. Muad'Dib. Boo. Fremen player characters.
Hello.
That's talents. Sieges. Nope, doesn't look like they've got any fancy new assets. Houses of the Landsrad. Have we got any fun new assets there?
Oh, it's all going to be politics and spying.
Probably.
What about a face dancer? Can I get one of them?
They're the bad guys.
Oh yeah, sorry. That's the other house.
I don't see any fancy new assets there, so you're not got a particular worry.
Fair enough. Let's see. So drive is going to be truth 8, faith 7. I should come up with a statement for that. Power 6. He's slightly adopted his dad's old motto, but he's adjusted it to what's the point of power if you don't use it to defend your family?
But family is who you decide it is, isn't it?
Well, yes. And truth is still the truth is in the silence.
Good place for it.
Between the sand or between the stars.
Eldath Richard really wants you to have Strike from the Shadows, which I think is from a book that I actually don't have.
Can you tell us more about this?
What's the point of parody?
It's too complicated for film.
Oh, exfiltration team.
Oh,
That's a good idea.
Interesting. Is that an asset or a talent?
That'd be an asset.
Yeah. Actually, I will. That's the bug out.
Yep.
It's all gone to shit.
And for Foom, because Foom is an existing character, I think we can allow an extra
Talent. Is it a talent?
definitely a talent. Extra talent, so it'll be 4 talents. And then an extra point in a drive and a skill.
Ooh, okay. Well, in that case, he will hang on to piece of Shohalud, and I will pick
Which piece?
and I will pick another talent. Oh, what was the other thing you said? Extra point in drive and skill?
Driving skill, yeah.
Drive and skill.
Actually, you know what? Let's call it a total of 4, which is either a point in drive, skill, asset, or talent. So you could have one of each.
It's making it complicated now.
Yeah, just have one of each. One drive, one skill, one talent, one asset. Problem solved.
All right.
And you wanted another talent, didn't you?
Yeah, that's all right.
126, we hope.
Make him slightly better at battle. What do you reckon? Nah.
Bold, constantly watching, cool under pressure, decisive action, do stupid things in combat but somehow they pay off.
That does sound like Foom.
It kind of does.
It does, doesn't it? He's terrible at fighting. It's so not his strong point.
He's not though, is he really?
It really is.
I say he is actually quite bad, yeah.
Yeah, it's not his thing. He's a mover and a...
Well, you'll have to battle truthfully then, won't you?
Or for power.
So that's decisive action if you want that one. When you succeed to remove an asset and you bought a dice... Oh, that's not actually that good. You have to be generating threats. Oh.
Yeah, it's very specific.
Sounds cool.
I have had a look.
Yeah. Find trouble? But I suppose you could reskin find trouble to a Fremony vibe, so find ally. Doesn't have to be... maybe. Something around there, possibly.
I don't know. I might take that offline and have a bit of a think about it.
Yeah, that works too.
Okay, I have spent my additional points in drive and skill.
Huzzah.
Thanks, Lewis. And I will think about the additional talent and the additional asset. Assets, I've gone for a Cyber's Hood.
That's the stealth thing, isn't it? I'm
kind
Diana
of
from the D&D cartoon. Not Diana.
Yeah. No. Well, it's not an invisibility cloak, but
no.
It is...
but you know what I mean.
It's more like a Mission Impossible face changer. Which will hide the glowy blue eyes. A Frem kit, an exfiltration team, because I just love that idea. Foom just basically has a bug out team.
Yeah.
It's all gone to shit! Run! And some sort of skyhook comes out of an ornithopter and just whisks him away. It's happened on too many planets and we don't like to talk about it.
It scans.
Thanks, Dad.
You get to a certain point in the adventure where it's all just about to explode, and then you go, and peace out, bitches. Exfil.
Ah! Laters. Yeah,
right, so we've got nothing in Houses of the Landsrad that are more exciting that you might want, so we don't need to worry about them. We will poke around with the house sheet next week when we upgrade the house with Lewis. You don't really want any more of the Fremen talents, do you?
What else you got?
Toothcrafter.
No.
Chris Knife Master. You've got the Chosen of Shai-Hulud, the actual riding one.
Yeah.
Otherwise, talents. The reason I fight So you might not be good at a fight, but when it comes to the crunch, choose a single drive rated at 6 or higher. When you attempt a battle test using that drive and the drive statement aligns, you can re-roll one of your d20s. Has a little bit of mileage there.
Isn't there one about helping someone else? There was an
Yes.
aid one.
There are several like that. There's a couple of helpy ones. So you've got... They're all back up near the beginning of the alphabet, fortunately. Advisor, guiding other people through problems.
Yeah, quite like that one. I think that kind of fits with firm.
Bolster. When an ally fails a skill test, you can spend 2 points of momentum or add 2 points of threat to let them re-roll their dice pool.
That seems expensive.
You can do it. Collaboration. And when an ally attempts a skill that you have a rating of 6 or more in, you can spend 2 points of momentum to let them use your score and focus instead of theirs.
I think advisor. I think that fits better.
Okay.
Kind of with firms slightly never wanting quite to be the power.
Yeah.
But also wanting to be close enough to be advising and kind of shaping direction. A bit like the whole relationship with Shai Hulud, as he recognizes he's not the power,
Yeah,
but he can guide.
that works. So you need to pick a skill that aligns with.
Hang on. Please hold.
Battle, communicate, discipline, move, understand. Probably move.
Yeah, given its foam, probably
Yeah.
move. Or possibly discipline. I think actually discipline, I think that's what he's learned while he's been away.
Okay, so sub out the word skill for discipline.
Yeah. When you choose a single skill, whatever your system is high, you use that skill.
Oh, that's a full-on Qui-Gon Jinn focus you've got there. Focus on where you need to be, not where you are.
Yep.
Your foci need to be smaller, though. They're not statements. The foci are the one-word ones. So discipline, focus of self-control, or move focus. By precise movements works in move.
I like that one.
It's a good statement. We like it as a statement.
Where do I put it in a statement then?
And it can work as a power statement.
No, I like the power statement because it plays on Morgan. All right.
Oh. I see Lewis turned up.
Yeah.
Hello, Lewis. Still shining the buttons on his jacket. Oh, yeah, that's the asset that you needed. You needed your lenses, didn't you? Your special contact lenses.
Well, that's kind of when I went for the Cybers hood because it does.
But you
hide
could
your
still
face.
have Dargush lenses that would aid you in percepting things as well.
Well, I would hope I would have those.
If you, yeah, but I mean, you could have it as an asset, so it'd be a thing that you have on you.
You want to make me spend?
No, you don't have to. I mean, just suggesting something cool and fancy. Plus, I just got to that bit in the conversation. Yeah, Richard is very, very keen for you to have Strike from the Shadows. Oh, and has sent it to me on Discord, where you could come and join us if you are of a mind to do so. Strike from the Shadows is the suggested talent, and it's currently loading.
Stabby.
If you make a stealth test with the purpose of getting close to someone to attack, difficulty is reduced by 1.
Stab. Stabby, stab, 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 stab. Stabbing.
The stabbing.
Well, he's not very good at stabbing, so that might help.
I think it's more about the stealth test that it supports you with.
Well, he's got subtle step, so
Okay.
it's already all right on stealthing.
There you go.
Basically, that's how that goes. Thank you.
Yep, so I've caught up to the conversation. Is House Dargush still a minor house, or did it become a major one under Dayla's rule? Well, still a
out next
minor
week.
house, but
Dun,
it's
dun,
up
dun.
there. Next week, the session is going to be using Houses of the Landsrad to play through some faction level stuff, where we upgrade the house, we look at what's changed, alliances, marriages, assaults, attacks, where they've spent their money, that kind of thing. And then once we know exactly where Dargush stand in terms of their position with the others and the Landsrad, then we can go the following week into the session proper. Sharadel is still laughing at them because of the Dutchness. It's not my fault. I didn't do it. But yes, so 0.2-ish. Yes, 0.2. Might be session 0.5 by that point. Who knows? My numbering system doesn't really work because numbers. But yeah, we're going to have this session 0, that session 0, and then going to Arrakis, going to eat a lot of peaches.
Going to a reckon.
Sounds like a plan.
Motion by the ocean, snow ocean.
And it's apricots rather than peaches.
Gonna eat a lot of apricots.
Because that's what Abacat is.
Millions of apricots. Apricots for me. Millions of apricots. Apricots by the sand.
It's not perfect.
Okay.
But yeah, so that's where we are in terms of
Okey-dokey.
now and House Dargush and their fun and exciting adventures. We've got Fum Alhout de Graaf. That's a name and a
Hello.
half. A House Dargush envoy who is an infiltrator living in two worlds. His ambition is classified. You don't have that level of clearance yet. He believes in the will of Shai Hulud, focuses on where he needs to be, not where he is, and finds the truth in the silence. Dual fealty, subtle step, chosen of Shai Hulud, and an advisor with a Cybus hood, a Frem kit, exfiltration team, and Dargush lenses. Nice. And
Selection of.
Drat, the planetary ecologist from the Imperial Ecology College, working for House Dargush, is an ecologist who is passionate and friendly, whose ambition is the preservation of the Arrakis ecology system, has access to Fremen technology, water wisdom, and intense study, has their own still suit, Frem kit, and ornithopter, which are going to come in very handy. You're going to be the guy that gives everyone a lift.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
Drat, can we get a lift, man? We need a lift in town. We run out of beers.
A precise
4 years
survival-based
in Imperial
empath
College. I'm a
ecologist.
chauffeur.
Nice. And yeah, so joining us over the next couple of weeks, we've got Dayla Dargush coming back into play as the big cheese in House Dargush. And Pat is going to be joining us at some point as a smuggler. And Josh is going to be joining us as well as Who Knows or Dares to Dream. Probably leaning towards the Mentat / assassin side of things, but might be a Bene Gesserit witch. Could be Dayla Dargush's wife. Or
Sardaukar.
consort. Who knows?
We haven't got a Fedaykin yet.
Those who have been scorched know how to stand back to back.
We don't yet have a Murderbot tank. I think that's the problem.
You don't need a Murderbot tank. It's not essential to have a tank. You don't have
But
to
a
fill
Murderbot.
every role.
And by Murderbot, I mean Aaron.
Aaron the Mentat assassin from season 1. He was
Oh.
quite terrifying.
He was beautiful as a Fedaykin as well. Just generally terrifying in just pleasant interaction.
So, if you haven't yet, do pop back to Garblag on YouTube. Take a look at seasons 1 and 2. Lots of fun to be had on there. I just typed in the wrong prompt. It's the YouTube prompt. If you wish to join us over on our Discord, which I believe many of you already have, you can follow us there. Don't forget to like and subscribe and all of that good stuff. Press the button that does the thing. We have a Patreon and lots of fun things happening. And sooner or later, Pete's going to put in a prompt for Arthur 9000, but he still hasn't. Taylor Dargush's knees hurt a lot more, so he might not want to be a sword master.
That's right, you've got a sword master to be your sword master.
Yeah,
Exactly. Yeah.
you get to be the big cheese now. You can change stuff around, be a diplomat.
Taylor. You met Taylor.
Well, all right.
I'm just determining Foom's ambition is to bring the siege to the stars.
Ooh, spicy. I guess you're going to get your wish, just not for another generation. Oh no, it does happen, doesn't it? It happens straight after, when the Great Crusade sweeps out of Arrakis.
Yep.
Another example of a character from Dune getting what they want, only to find out that the thing you wanted isn't what you thought it was going to be.
You appear to have released your elite stormtroopers across the galaxy and are now basically the very thing you wanted to bring down.
It's basically the same as
Oh, no, we've lost
no,
Scotland.
it's like getting everything out. It's not what you wanted.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Okay, later on this evening, I believe the Americans are doing something. I can't remember whether it's Acton Cthulhu or whether they're doing Conan tonight, or if it's something completely different. Suffice to say, they are doing a thing, unless
One of those
they're not.
three things. Well, that would be
And
something completely different. That's
would also be
covered
something
in the
completely
set
different.
Of
Yeah.
something completely different.
I'll
You're okay.
accept that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And then that is us until Tuesday, when we're back with some more hot and spicy Coriolis action. Come and watch us doom ourselves horribly in space. Oh, the Americans are out with the plague. There we go. Americans are out with the plague. There is no USian
No
Garblags or North Americans, because some of them are Canadians. So there's nothing from US side of things today, but Tuesday, Coriolis. I totally don't have a horrible space plague from staying awake whilst going through a jump into evil space.
Oh, we're talking about Coriolis. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Wasn't sure.
Well, yeah, it could actually be talking about me, really, couldn't it, to be fair?
Well, yeah.
But it looks like my computer is about to try and poop the bed, so it's probably a good time for us to say bye-bye, lovely people. We
Bye-bye,
will
lovely
see
people.
you next week
Ciao.
for
Bye.
more Junie goodness. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye.